Well, welcome back. Peloton issuing a voluntary recall yesterday on its treadmills after the company initially refused to comply with federal regulators. They had pushed this action several weeks ago. Peloton CEO John Foley apologizing in a statement saying this: Peloton made a mistake in our initial response to the Consumer Product Safety Commission's request that we recall the Tread Plus. Joining me right now is BMO Capital Markets Managing Director of Equity Research, Simeon Siegel. Simeon, thanks very much for being here. Great to see you this morning. Was this the right call for management to say we made a mistake and not listening initially? And what do you think this is going to mean now that they've admitted they've made a mistake?
Yeah, hi, Maria. Great to see you. Thanks for having me. So listen, I think everyone's allowed to make mistakes. People are entitled to mistakes. I think that this probably should have been the reaction 3 weeks ago. I think that the reality here is so much of what Peloton has engendered is a sense of community, is a sense of trust. And what that means is you have to feel associated, right? Let's let the community feel human. Humans make mistakes. I think the problem was the initial response and was the approach taken towards it. To your second question, though, in terms of the stock, and I think this, listen, I love the bike. The stock went leagues above the amount of members that were actually part of this company. And I think what we're seeing now are the growing pains of when a company grows into fame very quickly, and now they're working to catch back up.
So, I mean, I guess my question in asking you, was it a mistake to say it was a mistake, is does this open the door to lawsuits? If the company is out there saying, yes, we made a mistake, we should have done this when regulators first asked us to do this, what about that period? Did anybody get hurt in that period? And for them admitting that this is a mistake, does that trigger lawsuits? And does this hurt Peloton in the longer term?
Right. So listen, this is above my pay grade in terms of the legal implications of when you acknowledge it. I think it's safe to say they had a very strong legal team craft that apology as it should have been. You'll notice it was Peloton apologizing, right? It was John apologizing at the end for Peloton's actions. But no, listen, the reality is it's a very important question that we don't know the answer to. What I can speak to, or at least try to speak to, is the implication on demand, is the implication on the numbers. And the reality here is the Peloton valuation was hinged on new product lines. The next new product line was the Peloton Tread. I think one thing that was surprising yesterday was, in addition to the Tread Plus, to the more expensive one that we've seen the video on, unfortunately, is that the Tread, the lower priced option that was going to be introduced imminently, was included as well for a different reason. So I think that what we're seeing here now, the question we have to ask for Peloton on a demand perspective is, what does this do to the consumer? Who does the person who's about to buy a Tread, who is a lock to buy a Peloton Tread, now start reevaluating and thinking there's other options out there? That, to me, that's how I've been thinking about it. Your question about the legal impact obviously makes a world of sense. It's above my pay grade to know how that's going to play out.
Simeon, what do you think is the growth story right now at Peloton? I mean, that stock was down 14% yesterday. Took a real haircut on this story. Is this a buying opportunity, or are you looking at a growth story longer term?
So listen, there was a point at which Peloton reached 25% of Netflix's market cap. It has less than 1% of its member base. Netflix added 35 million members during the pandemic. We'll find out tonight that Peloton has just barely added 1 million. It's a fantastic growth story. It's just drastically smaller than its platform might otherwise suggest. We have a price target that's well below where we are right now. And I think the reality is the valuation, even with this drop, is still very stretched.
Yeah. Simeon, thanks very much.